it's the worst one of all. So this might be where I fall. Really hope I don't flop. I gotta make sure I pop. That one bullshit PlayStation trophy.
Unlocking this trophy requires you to complete all events in the galaxy, which is another way of saying achieve 100% completion in the game's open world. Here you can see from my save file that on the 25th of October 2022 I managed to achieve 100% completion in the game, thus unlocking the See You Around Kid trophy, and with it the Platinum trophy for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just another LEGO game, right? But trust me when I say that getting this trophy was one of the longest, toughest and most mind-numbingly tedious trophies I have ever gone for. And that's saying something, considering I have the Shenmue 3 Platinum in all of its 1000 fish caught glory. You see, 100% in this game is no small feat, and when compared to other LEGO games, this is on a different level entirely. In total, it took me 87 hours, that's right, 87 hours from unlocking the first trophy to all the way to unlocking the Platinum trophy, and in real time, this was done over the course of 6 months, as I needed some long breaks away from it to cope with the awfulness of this collectathon nightmare. Throughout those 87 hours spent with the game, fuck me, 87 hours I've wasted, Jesus. Outside of completing the game's story and 100% in those levels, I reckon I spent about 60 hours, if not more, doing all of the open world stuff, as in order to get 100% of the events complete in the galaxy, I needed to complete 140 side missions, solve 765 puzzles, complete 38 trials, finish 10 challenges spread across the game's 24 planets, all of which needed to be 100%ed. As well as that, I had to collect all 1,200 Kyber Bricks, 225 mini-kits, 123 ships, 380 characters, and 19 data cards, which, as I'm sure you can see, is completely fucking overboard. It's a perfect example of bloated excess, with a developer simply adding more content for the sake of adding more content, and not for the sake of the player and their fun experience with the game. Now, sure, while some bricks or missions are shorter than others, they all still have way too many pointless and repetitive missions and puzzles that are just reused over and over and over again to the point of nauseam and sheer rage at the mere sight of, say, another bloody smuggler mission in which you spend way too much time on this screen listening to this.
Hey, where do you think you're going, bud boy?
As you desperately try to get the cargo to the required planet, yet are constantly slowed down by the game, who wants you to repeat that same space battle another 2 or 3 times before it lets you get there, meaning you'll have to hear this another 2 or 3 times before this mission is over.
Oh, I never thought this was a good idea. Fucking cunt, man. I mean, really do like 4 of these back to back with this slow fucking thing as it loads me in. Like, oh my god, this is fucking dog shit, man.
Then, after wasting 10 minutes on what should have been a simple 2 to 3 minute mission, all you get for it is 1 measly Kyber brick out of the 1,199 that you still need, which will just make you go, or how about the scavenger missions that you do for certain twats on planets that ask you to go and find a bunch of pointless items for them that are spread out across multiple planets, forcing you to land on each one and hunt down the items there? So the game will show you a vague area that they are found in via the yellow circle, and characters can give you hints to point you in the right direction, but it will never show you exactly where they are on the map. So you have this awkward couple of minutes of you standing within this yellow circle, just simply wasting time as you run around in circles trying to find just where exactly the devs have hidden this item, be it tucked away in a corner somewhere, purchased from a character in this circle, or maybe part of something or some object that you need to smash up. These were always annoying, especially as you'll likely have to travel to at least 3 different planets to get all of the items, which again drags things out way too much and wastes even more of your time. I mean, look at that one there. I found 5 of the one item here, but now I need to move to another location to find the last 5 of this same item. Why can't they all just be here in this place? God damn it. These missions are just really annoying, as they again waste so much time and are just so basic and dull, which makes me confused as to why they repeat these and the smuggler ones so much. I mean, I felt like I was encountering 2 to 3 of these side missions each per planet almost, and when there's 24 planets in the game, these are missions that are repeated way too often. Plus, to add a sprinkle of shit to an already smelly cake, if you are really unlucky, you may come across some bullshit missions that start out as maybe a scavenger type one, to only then gain an extra part of the mission objective once you complete it, where it then turns into a smuggler mission. Those can fuck right off.
What a little bastard. This mission just turned into a load of bullshit. Could it be any more long fucking winded? Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I've just collected 10 things, now you make me do 5 more. Fuck off.
If that doesn't give you nightmares, the fact that it's a LEGO game will, as it is of course full of glitches, and as your quest to get 100% gets closer and closer, it becomes really nerve-wracking as you hope it correctly counts every single brick or thing you unlock. This is of course provided you actually manage to beat missions without hitch, because I bumped into several missions where the game just fucking glitched out and I couldn't do nothing, like this one here where I'm supposed to make all of the characters dance in this square for this guy, yet every time I put the 3 characters in, the counter doesn't go up, and the only way I could fix this was by quitting out of the mission back to the title screen and then going back into the game, because then once they were in the square it counted, but then the objective was to speak to the guy. But when I went up to him, I couldn't do nothing, so yet again, I had to go and quit back to the title screen and then reload into the mission, and now I could finally talk to him and go and end the mission. Or how about this one here, when you have to find the Kyber brick under the cup? I'd managed to do this easily because it would tell me where it is anyway, but once I beat it, it didn't actually count it as done, so I had to play this gun again in order for it to count for the 100% of the area. Or how about this one, with the torches? You're supposed to light them up. 6 torches are supposed to be lit within the time limit to light up the door to open it, yet after doing one of them it just wouldn't light up another torch for me to put the switch on, so I could never do it. I had to just move away, do other missions in the area and then come back to this later before it would finally work and I could get that brick. The most annoying glitch was in this gonkward and upwards level, as the mission completely broke halfway through. So the point of the mission is to guide the gonk through this path by jumping on the ledges to lower the platforms and shooting the switches to create platforms for the gonk to jump up. But when I got up here, it all went wrong because I thought I had to force throw him or carry him over that gap.
Oh great, doesn't, oh my fucking days, man. Fuck off, this is bullshit. What a crock of shit. Give me a fucking checkpoint in it. Why has he got to be like that for? That's fucking that's fucking disgusting, man. come on then, you fucking cunt.
While the game gave me a checkpoint up top, the gonk didn't come with me. Instead, he just remained at the start of the mission area, just glitched out in this jumping state, and no matter what I did, shooting him or throwing him, he would always just stop there. And then once I restarted the mission, it put me back up top, but he was always at the bottom. So I had to improvise by using the force move to pick up the gonk and slowly but surely just carry him up myself, which was a right pain in the ass to do, but it weirdly worked. And after getting him back up to this top part, I left him here right by the edge so that I could hopefully run around the other side of this area to get to the other side of that gap, where I could hopefully pick him up with the force powers, which thankfully I could, but then I had another problem as I didn't know where to go with the rest of the mission. The gonk was still glitched out and wouldn't move, so I ended up killing it again, but upon the restart, he was here at the top again.
There's
Oh, what a load of bullshit, man. Indeed, okay. Put you down. And now we're... Oh, we go this way. Of course we go this way. Oh, is this it? Don't even get me. Oh, this guy. Who the fuck gives a shit about this random guy? Yeah, whatever, mate. Who the fuck are you?
Amazingly, out of the 1,200 Kyber Bricks, there were a few that I did enjoy getting. Like whenever I'd see one of those Kyber Brick comics, they were great to smash up because, well, they would give you 5 Kyber Bricks for just destroying the asteroid, so that was great. Or how about this mission here where it was a pipe puzzle, but with this one you only had like 3 pieces, and whenever you solved one of them it would give you more pieces. Or this puzzle here, which you have to turn this dial to light up these triangles, but you can't light up the same path twice, so you have to be careful where you start. That was a nice little one, and I only ever did that once. Or how about this one when you get this coloured code, which then translates to the coloured tiles that you have to step on across this lake to get the Kyber Brick. Or how about this Crash Bandicoot 1 inspired climb up a edge of a tower. This one was really fun, even if the platforming was a bit wonky. It was a nice little brick to do. Or how about this cog puzzle in this ice cave? That was a cool little task. And this race on this horse thing was kind of exhilarating too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So while I did enjoy some of the bricks, having 1,200 bricks in this game is its biggest downfall because it's just far too many, and the game designers just didn't have enough ideas to warrant having that many bricks, because what ideas they do have are just repeated far too many times, and it shows that it's bullshit in some of the missions where you barely have to do anything in order to get the brick. Like this mission here, which is a race, yet just look at it. It's a race of 6 checkpoints, which makes you go in a straight fucking line to the end. It's over within 10 to 20 seconds, if that, and that's worth a brick. What the hell were they thinking? Why is that even in the game? You could get rid of that and it wouldn't matter, I wouldn't care. Or how about this one here where you have to pick up these flowers and literally put them onto this archway that's right in front of the flowers? It's so easy and quick that it's just pointless. Or how about these missions where you just have to go and buy a character from someone in a shop? What is the point? It's just there for the sake of being there. Same with this one here, where it just tasks you with destroying 15 lampposts in this one specific area. It's dull and uninteresting, and it's certainly not fun, but it's just here to pad out the numbers and extend the game's lifespan, but at the cost of fun and the player enjoyment, because these are just boring. And if you thought those were bullshit, there's other ones that are just bullshit for completely different reasons, like this one here when I'm trying to find some of the scavenging items.
What a load of bullshit that one was. Out of bounds. Fuck off. So here's another bullshit one. This door's locked. Doesn't seem to be anywhere where you can go and unlock it. But look, if you look right up there, you can see that. Fucking joke. And then they put a fire in front of it. Jesus.
Really shouldn't have.
This desert dangle mission was also really annoying because you had to shoot the targets on these platforms to make them swing so that you could jump across the gaps. And with the awkward controls, the awkward shooting and the awkward platforming, it just made getting this brick a right pain in the ass. Likewise, this puzzle was also really awkward to do. So when you jump on the tiles, it flips the tiles around it to the opposite picture. And I think this is a puzzle that was just way too difficult. I struggled with this for ages before I finally cracked it. And I think this is just one extremely hard puzzle for a kid's game, and you only ever do this once. This was also a pain in the ass. So here, all I need to do is swing this rope in order to be able to reach that Kyber brick in the air. But for some reason, that rope just wouldn't swing properly. So every time I tried to jump, I wouldn't make it. And even with Boba Fett, when I tried to do the double jump and then the hover, he wouldn't do it because the jetpack would just cut out for some reason. Then after multiple failed attempts, eventually the rope would swing properly and I could go and get it.
Oh, how am I not hitting, man? I'm like fucking on this cunt.
Trust me, that boss fight was so boring and it just went on forever. Another problem I had with some of these missions where you have to smash 10 things within an area. They are often okay because you can find them all, but on those times where you get 9 out of the 10 and then can't find the final one for fucking ages because you have no clue where the fuck it is, they get old fast.
Fuck all, man.
Sorry.
Where is that last one? Where the fuck is that last one? Why is it a million miles away from all the others that were just right by each other? Like, fuck's sake.
They just become so annoying. I mean, I spent about 20 minutes on this one alone until I eventually stumbled across the 10th crystal to finally complete the mission. And after I did it, it was just pure relief that it was finally over. Another mission type that I didn't enjoy was those chase missions where someone would try and run away from you and you had to run after them, but the only way to actually capture them was to whittle their health down by shooting them. These were just a pain in the ass because they just didn't work right. I would shoot them loads with Boba Fett's blaster and they would barely lose any health. Half the time they would just ignore my blasts and they would just run really fast and they were just always annoying to try and do. And the one in the cave was really annoying because as soon as it starts, he throws a smoke bomb so you can't see where the fuck he is. You just lose him instantly. Right, fucking annoying.
Oh my god, they're the most annoyingly bullshit missions ever. Fucking hell.
The pluggable missions also started to get on my nerves after a while because these were repeated constantly throughout the galaxy as well. So these were missions that required you to find a keycard or a fuse to open up a cage with a brick in, or a door that would often lead to the Kyber brick. And while they sound simple enough, the pluggable items can be so far away from the thing you need to plug it into that it just becomes a really awkward faff to just go and get this key and get it to the door. Another problem I had with the missions was that some of the types weren't really spread out across the galaxy very well, often being grouped into 2 or 3 planets that were right by each other in the same section. Like the boss fights, I tended to do a load of boss fights in 1 or 2 planets that were right by each other in the map. Yet I could have done with some of these spread out across the other planets, because it would have just broken up the monotony of the other missions, even though the boss fights themselves were just so basic and dull that they weren't really that good anyway. It still would have broke things up a bit better. They just didn't really balance it right. Another major problem I had was the faulty droid missions. These were ones that just repeated the same fucking mission 6 times in a row, where you had to go and hunt down a rogue faulty droid, shoot it, and then send it back to the planet that the mission took place in, and you would just repeat that 6 fucking times. And then once you think you've finally done it, you get another mission unlocked where you have to go and round them all up again because they've all got loose. So you end up just fighting all 6 of them again in this one big mission, and it's just such a pain in the arse. It does give you a trophy, but man, it just wasn't worth it. These switch puzzles where you have to light each panel up in the correct order by finding the solution nearby are also really tedious, as they repeat so much and you'll just roll your eyes every time you come across one.
There we go, 423. For the like millionth time I've done this level, this sort of mission.
This is sufficient payment.
The capital ships are ones that start off really cool because they are these giant ships that will appear in space that you have to either attack and destroy or attack and then take over, and they're actually some really fun, cool missions because it's really cool to just shoot down the ship, whittle its health down, and then jump inside it to take it over by defeating a sort of mini boss who's like the captain of the ship. But the problem I have with these is every time you do this and take one over, you're then inside the ship where there's a whole bunch more of Kyber Bricks for you to collect. So while they're cool, it just adds even more bricks to the fucking playthrough. God. There's more puzzles for you to solve, more missions for you to complete, more characters to unlock, and more planets to 100%. It's like their game design philosophy was more, and to be honest, when playing it and going for the platinum and this trophy, all I wanted was less. I mean, please. Less repeated mission types, less bricks to collect, less puzzles to solve, less of everything really, because less is more in my opinion. I mean, when they got to 500k Kyber Bricks made, did they not think that that was enough? When they got to 1000 Kyber Bricks, did they really think the game needed 200 more? It's just far too bloated for its own good, and after spending 10 hours in the open world galaxy, having 100%ed perhaps 3 or so planets in that time, you will have seen everything this galaxy has to offer. And at that point you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to do the same thing over and over again for another 50 hours? If like me that's a yes, then well, good luck to you, as this took me a really long and really painful amount of time and effort to push through and get all of these bricks and get everything 100%ed to unlock the trophy. In my opinion, the game would have been perfectly fine with 500 Kyber Bricks. For me, this was an absolute slog to get to 100%, and in my opinion, it felt like it should have been 3 platinums. This 87 plus hour platinum journey was worth 3 platinums, to be honest, because it quite easily could have just had a platinum for each of the trilogies, the original, the prequel and the sequels. The 3 movies in there with all of their associated planets could easily have been split up into 3 separate platinums, each with their own trophy list. But no, instead they tried to just cram everything into one game, and as a result it was far too bloated, especially the open world stuff, but bloated with repeated content and not unique and fun content throughout. Sure, I would expect a handful of repeated missions, but when you're doing the same shit on every planet, it just gets boring fast when there's 24 planets to do and you're doing the same set of missions on each one. It's just not fun. And sure, there were moments where I was having a little bit of fun, but then I would just hit a wall with a bunch more missions to do, doing the same shit that I've been doing for 30, 40, 50 fucking hours, and it just goes tiresome and just dull. I would have rather had a smaller game with a few missions in each planet, but missions that were always unique to that planet, than just having all of it repeated on every single planet. That would have made for a far better and far more enjoyable game and a much more enjoyable platinum journey. Instead, I had to push through what was a long-winded, tedious, boring and grindy quest to get everything in the galaxy 100%ed. And perhaps the most offensive thing about this was that when I finally got everything to 100% and I unlocked the trophy, I didn't actually get anything as a reward in game. Nothing, nada, zilch. It didn't give me anything. No extra secret character unlocked. No firework display anywhere. Nothing. Not even a text congratulations message. There was absolutely nothing. What a fucking joke. 87 hours for that? Fuck off. And for that reason, it gets a bullshit trophy rating of...
What an asshole. Oh, you're such an asshole.